I can tell you I've practiced law in Wayne County for nearly 25 years. I've seen the office handled by 2 or 3 different prosecutors. I've seen good decisions come from the office, bad decisions come from the office, and I got to tell you, in the nearly 25 years that I've been practicing, this is the most ridiculous decision that I've seen, and that decision being to prosecute Evan Reed. Not only is it ridiculous because of the evidence that we know about, the prosecutor's office even knows that it's ridiculous. This case, since the inception of the allegations, Evan Reed has fully cooperated with the police. When he came back in town from a road trip, he subjected himself to an interview that he had no obligation to do. He could have told the police, look, I'm asserting my Fifth Amendment right to remain silent, and they couldn't have held that against him. Instead, he went into the Detroit Police Department voluntarily and was interviewed for nearly 2 hours with no restrictions placed on them whatsoever. In addition to that, we provided numerous witness statements of individuals who were with Mr. Reed and this complainant at the bar and other locations to show the prosecutor and the police that the allegations against him were just completely false. In addition to that, yesterday, Ms. Worthy made a mention about a surveillance tape, a tape that shows, that supports her case. Well, we would take issue with that. I believe when it comes out in court and you'll see the tape in court, you'll see this complainant who alleged that she was raped, although she spent several hours in Mr. Reed's hotel room. You'll see her leaving the casino, walking by 2 sets of Detroit police officers without saying one word. Rape is a serious thing. It's an awful crime. And if it would have happened, I'm sure she would have reported it to the police.
Immediately.
Immediately, correct. There are other facts that we can't tell you at this time that you'll hear about in court, but I think the evidence in this case will overwhelmingly result in a dismissal or a not guilty verdict. In fact, I'm confident that's the result that will happen. If any of you have any questions that we can answer, we will certainly do it at this time.
Mr. Reed, what's your reaction to what's going on? Obviously, a reputation is everything for a person, and to have these claims against you.
This is just something that's been absolutely devastating to my whole life, my family, my career. This isn't a job that I all of a sudden decided you want to do. It's something you work for your whole life. So the fact that I did nothing wrong, I did nothing that wasn't consensual, I did nothing that was forced, that was incapacitated, I did nothing she claimed. And that's why, if you look at my actions, I got home at 2 in the morning from a West Coast road trip when I found out about my allegations. I met with my lawyers at 8 and took a polygraph at noon and passed it on these exact questions that I'm being accused of. If I was guilty, why would I subject myself to that? Why would my actions speak? I've been in Detroit for less than 5 hours and I'm taking a polygraph, meeting with my lawyers, scheduling to talk to and cooperate with police. If I had anything to hide, why would I do that? I mean, put yourself in my shoes. I go to the bar, I make the opening day roster. I'm just out, having fun. And now my whole career, my whole life is in jeopardy. I'm pitching for the Toledo Mud Hens. My salary is less. Everything I've had to endure mentally, physically, my family, everyone close to me. It's just absolutely absurd, and I can't even tell you how devastating it's been.
So you're not denying that there was a relationship, a sexual relationship between you two, but you're denying that?
I've never denied that. There was just never force. There was never incapacitation. There was never a level of being too drunk, a level of any drug use. That's just absolutely absurd.
Did you have any contact with the alleged victim after the day that you met her?
When I told her I had to go to work, she couldn't find her phone. So I texted her to help her try to find her phone. It was cordial, it was casual. This completely blindsided me because the dialogue of our conversation before she left was almost playful and I was trying to help her out, trying to help her find her phone that she thought she misplaced. Other than that, there was no contact though. I found out about this a week later. It completely blindsided me.
Did you just meet her at the bar that night? Had you known her previously?
I had not known her previously, no.
What contact did you have with her after the fact? After that specific night?
I think I just answered that question.
Occasionally, I apologize.
Before she left, she was trying to find her phone. I called her phone trying to help her out, and then at one point afterwards, I texted her, "Did you ever find your phone?" And that was the only contact I ever had with her since the incident.
At what point did she learn who you were?
She obviously knew who I was when we were there.
When
It
you
was
discussed
of
it
no
apart?
secret. I was with other people that were recognizable. There's no doubt in my mind that she knew exactly who I was.
And that was established at the bar?
Absolutely.
What do you think her motive is?
I have no idea. To me, she's a mother. She has children. If I knew how this could affect someone else, would I ever subject them to what she's doing to me? No, but I don't know her story. I don't know her life. I don't care to know her life or story at this point. It is just absolutely absurd. You know, if I get to the point that I have children, I'll never put someone else through this if I can have monetary, whatever it is, status, attention, I don't know what it is. If I could answer that question,
Money?
I don't know.
Evan, did she ever try to ask you for any money?
There's been no contact.
Okay.
Coach Osmer said that this had no significance on him sending you back to the Toledo Mud Hens. Do you believe it did? I mean, do you believe this is affecting your ability to come back? I mean, essentially, is this affecting your career?
Absolutely. I have nothing but the utmost respect for the Detroit Tigers organization. But anytime you're going through mental anguish and just being accused of something you haven't done, it's constant defending your name, defending yourself, defending your reputation that you worked your whole life for. There's no way that can't take a toll on any normal human being.
And I can speak on behalf of the Tigers organization.
And you move the mic so
At the very highest levels of the Tiger organization, and up through intermediaries through the ownership, the Tigers have been nothing but completely supportive, have been remaining in constant contact with Mr. Gonick and I about the status of things, what's going on. We've given them daily, weekly briefings, so they have been very supportive throughout this process and remain so.
let me ask you this. Since you have been on both sides of the fence, you know Kim Worthy pretty well personally.
I know her more professionally when I was in office.
Do you think she would charge a thin case? What is there that could convince her that this is a charge she can bring and prove beyond a reasonable doubt?
Baffles me. It baffles me what we know and what we can prove. It baffles me. It's beyond explanation.
Or do you think this is, I don't want to put words in your mouth, a cheap shot on her part?
I don't know. I wish I could answer that question. I wish I can only formulate my own opinion.
Do you think she would file a case that she can't
I don't-
deem winnable?
Does that happen?
I can just answer on behalf of Mr. Gonick and Mr. Reed. She's not going to prove this case.
Evan Reed, this case is either going to be dismissed or he's going to be found not guilty. That's the only two options in this case, based on the evidence that I see and I know about, and even the summary of the prosecutor's evidence today that I reviewed in the court file.
Look, we're going to demand a speedy trial. We want this over with.
When you get
if we-
discovery and you see everything she has, would you be in a position at that point to do another news conference and say, here's why she has no case?
Doubtful. The reason being, ethical rules constrain us from talking a lot about the facts outside of a judicial hearing. Would I love to? Yeah. I would love to sit here right now and tell you everything.
But you can rest assured one thing, when we get the discovery in the case, and I can tell you right now, it's going to either result in a judge dismissing the case or a jury or a judge finding Evan Reed not guilty.
How often have any of you sat across somebody being charged and sit him down here and let you ask questions unfettered? We have nothing to hide, and we're not afraid of these charges.
And I can tell you this, after doing this for 25 years, there's been maybe a handful of times that I took a person accused of a crime in to make a statement to the police. Within 20 minutes of meeting Evan Reed, I knew that was precisely what he was going to do.
Can we move the mic back over, Ms. Reed? I'm going to ask you kind of an undelicate question. And it goes this way. you met this woman at this bar. Athletes have a lot of opportunities to meet women outside the game. Is this the first time you've had a one-night stand like this, and what runs through your mind now, given these ramifications?
You know, there's gonna be a
This has
time and
nothing
place
to do
for that
with-
question, and,
You said unfettered access to your
Well-
client, so I'm asking.
Well, I mean, stuff that's relevant to this case. I mean, stuff about his personal life that may have occurred when he was younger or whatever is, I mean, not relevant to this.
You know these questions are coming down the
hey,
pipe.
when they come out on cross-exam or direct, we're not afraid.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Nope, nothing to hide about that.
Mr. Gennick, who's the woman who was with you this morning at the arraignment?
Pardon me?
The woman who came in to watch the arraignment, who was that?
A friend?
A relative of Evans, or?
No.
So how will this affect your playing with the Mud Hens, or what's going on with baseball?
It will not affect me playing with the Mud Hens. I'll just have to keep my mind clear, know everything that's going on, and just continue to go about my business professionally.
So you'll be allowed to go back down and practice and play?
Yeah, I've been with the team ever since.
All right, thank you very much.
Thanks, everyone.
Ask questions unfettered. We have nothing to hide, and we're not afraid of these charges.
And I can tell you this, after doing this for 25 years, there's been maybe a handful of times that I took a person accused of a crime in to make a statement to the police. Within 20 minutes of meeting Evan Reed, I knew that was precisely what he was going to do.
It will not affect me playing with the Mud Hens. I'll just have to keep my mind clear, know everything that's going on, and just continue to go about my business professionally.
So you'll be allowed to go back down and practice and play?
Yeah, I've been with the team ever since.